when we look at the texts, and we just have the text as they are published in the newspaper or published on the website, which we can easily get access to. We can download them, we can print them off, I can go through them with pen and paper and underline or use different colors for highlighting. So we are doing a product analysis. So I can compare different texts, or I can also compare the text as they were published in the newspaper with the text as it was available on the internet, the online version, or if there was something where you can actually, like with interviews, for example, sometimes you can watch them on TV, or you can go to YouTube and then you also see a film there. So you can, this comparison of the products can reveal differences in the text as they were published. And also these multilingual texts, so if you compare the original text, like this Merkel interview with the 6 different translations, or this interview here, so you can also see differences which go beyond just this kind of micro-level difference, what I say with the verbal style or the nominal style or those things. So how much information is there, what information is there, how is it contextualized, what's the title, how is the whole image framed. So questions of interest then, we see the differences in the text. How do they come about? What were the reasons for these differences we see in the text, and where was translation interpreting involved? So what role did translation and interpreting play? So it's, as I say, it's very difficult, because very often what motivated me is I read something in the newspaper, or I hear something on TV in the news, something happened, somebody was present, or there was an interview. I say, oh, I want to find out. Yeah? But then the event is already past, so you can't really get there and observe things as they are going on. So this is a photo which you had with the Putin interview by one of the newspapers. So what you can see is headphones. Yeah? So the journalists were sitting around the table. You see in the left-hand corner, you see cameras. And then you see that they have the microphones, what I'm doing now. And there was simultaneous interpreting going on. There was one article in Kommersant where the journalist who was present then told the readers, so there was this dinner in the middle, so the interview was going on, in the middle was the dinner, and when we were walking up the stairs to get to the room where the dinner was served, we passed several people sitting on the second floor in front of a monitor set up in the corner of the room that was broadcasting live from the president's office. So that's where we saw the cameras. So the journalists were sitting around the table with Putin. There were the cameras which showed not to the outside world, there was nothing live at all, but to fellow journalists who were sitting in another room. I don't know where the interpreters were, yeah? But the interpreters also, they're not in the picture. They must have been in another room, because you see everybody there with the headphones on. And Mr. Aus from Der Spiegel rushed to his colleagues on the second floor, who were furiously dictating Mr. Putin's answers to their boss's questions for the Monday issue of the magazine. Yeah? So it had also been agreed that all newspapers would report on the same day, so that no newspaper would jump ahead and say, I was the inclusive rights. Yeah? Globe and Mail was the only news article where there was a reference to the language. Yeah? So it's getting, from this bit of information in this photo, you can see that he was speaking Russian, but it would really be interesting to find out whether there was interpreting between Russian and all those languages, so whether there were 8 interpreters, or whether maybe English functioned as a relay language, or whether some of the journalists might have been able to speak in Russian. Yeah? But you have also the pressure, a very long interview. It had to be reported for the Monday issue of the newspaper. It was 2 days. And then the translation had to be done there as well. Or they had interpreting into German, into French, that the interpreter's output was transcribed and used for the articles.